Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Thursday's live. I'm super excited. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties there, but it seems I have finally got it sorted. So we are coming back Thursday mornings as a live afternoons, depending on where you are. Where are you watching from? If you're watching live, let me know in the chat so I can say hi. And if you are coming in from the replay, hashtag replay, and then let me know where you are coming from as well. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right, so while you are looking at where you're from and putting in the chat, I was asked some questions in my stories this week, and I wanted to share some of the answers with you. So I asked, where is the biggest gap in your online presence right now? And I got some really fun answers back. So I wanted to talk you through those for a second. So my presence is inconsistent across all platforms. That's somebody said. My visuals aren't up to date. I show myself from years ago. Okay, that's another one. I don't post. This is a big one, and we're going to talk about it. I don't post because I don't love any of my images. And this one was, my presence feels credible, but not necessarily magnetic. People can see that I'm a professional, but they don't really stay and see what I'm up to. All right, so these are just some interesting ones. If you have your own, please share it with me. I really am curious to know where your biggest gap is on your online presence, because we're going to talk about exactly that today. Because everything that was said, that's exactly what we're looking at. So we are going to build upon the last few workshops. So if you haven't seen the lives, there is a YouTube channel group that has all of these in my YouTube, and I'll post it below so you guys can take a look if you want to kind of catch up. If you were at the workshop last week, which was the how to create an image workshop, we're going to be working from that. But if you weren't there, or you have images, or you just stumbled upon me somewhere, hi, welcome. Welcome back. But we are going to be wherever you are currently, we're going to build. So if you're brand new, perfect timing, because everything that we cover today still applies to you right now. So here's something I see every single day, especially when people are creating. Okay, they build their AI imaging, whether it's with a workshop with me, whether they're having fun, whether they're in the AI identity lab learning these tools while they're doing it. They see their future self for the first time. Something shifts. It feels fantastic, and then life happens. Nothing changes, and the images sit on your desktop. That the website still has the old headshots, the social media still shows the version of you from 2 years ago, and the funnels still have stock photos. This happens so often, and it's not a discipline problem. It's not a motivation problem. It's actually a deployment problem. So the images are one thing. Knowing exactly what to do with those images, that's something that nobody's teaching. And that's why I wanted to really share it with you guys today. So for those of you who are new, my name is Lindsay Hack. I'm the founder of The Identity Hacker. Thanks for finding your way to me. I've spent over 10 years working with entrepreneurs on identity, visibility, and transformation. And then for the past 2 decades, I have really worked with women on how they can transform themselves from the inside out. Now, in the last couple of years, I specifically been spending time at the intersection of AI and brand, helping coaches, founders, and business owners close the gap that they have between who they are and how they show up online. So this is really session 5 of an ongoing Thursday series. As I said, if you've been here from the beginning, amazing. You can watch as we build. If you're new, I will post the the YouTube series in the group. So let's look at her. So now we've built her, we're going to deploy her. Okay. The very first thing we're going to do is name this properly. This is called the deployment gap. Most people think that they have a problem with not getting great images, but then they get good images in a photo shoot or an AI image, whatever, and then the problem still doesn't go away. And because the problem was never about the images in the first place, the problem was the gap between creating something and actually using it. And I call this the deployment gap, and it shows up in a very specific way. So you have images, they're good, they're good, but every time you think about about updating your website or your profile, there's a tiny resistance, a little tiny voice that says, I'll do that properly later. And then you set it aside, and then you'll do it when? Never comes, right? And so the old version of you keeps showing up, even though there's a new version of you that can be put out there, right? So every time somebody lands on your profile, every time someone clicks on your website, and whether they are Googling you or in social media, the old version is there. Not you, not the new version, not the one that's ready to go. And every day that passes is another day your audience is finding that wrong version of you. So that's what we're fixing today in this session. And I'm very excited to share this. So we're going to first start with the visual consistency audit. Okay. I want you to walk through this. So if you're watching live or if you're on the replay, I want you to do this right now with me. Let's go. This is something that you can do. You don't have to do it as homework. You don't have to do it later. This is right now. So you're going to open up a new tab and we're going to walk through it. So first of all, your home web page. Okay. So your website homepage, you're going to pull that up and you're going to look at that hero image. And if you don't know what the hero image is, there's your first job, right? We need an image of you on your website, staring at the people who join and look at you and know who you are. Okay. It's the first thing that people see when they land. It's before they actually read anything, comment anywhere, contact you, book a call. They need to see you. Is that her? Is that the version of you that exists right now at the level you're opening at? So operating at. Number one, if you don't have a hero image, there's your first step. Number two, is it an image from years ago? Number three, question you're going to ask yourself is it a stock photo? Because all three of those are very common. Okay. So that's where you're going to look. And that's the photo that we're going to change. Okay. Because you want it to match who you are today. Stop number two is your social media profiles. This is Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube if you have it, TikTok. It does not matter which one it is. Do the one that you use most often. You do not need all of them, but if you do have all of them, we want to make sure that your image and your consistency works across the board, okay? That cohesiveness is super amazing, right? Does your Facebook show one version of you? Does your LinkedIn show another version of you? Does your Instagram show somebody else entirely? This is where your audience is moving from platform to platform, and inconsistency reads as someone who just hasn't really shown up yet. And as much as you think it doesn't affect them, it does. It might not be something that they say out loud, but they feel it. There's something off. And that is where we want to make sure that we're focused on taking a change for those images. So number three is your funnel and your landing pages. Okay, so opt-in pages, sales pages, thank you pages. What images are on them? And again, if you don't have any images on them, this is something to think about. Are they stock photos? Or is it an old headshot, right? Is it really who you are today? And that is really important because again, people are looking. And then stop number four is your email signature. This one gets missed almost every time. Now, if your email signature doesn't have a photo on it, that's okay. You don't have to do that. But if there is a photo on it, is it current your photo? Is it current you, or is it 5 years ago you because you haven't updated that in a long time? So the audit's going to show you the old version of you is probably showing up at least in some of those places, maybe not all of them. And if you've taken my visibility assessment, which again, I'll post down below, you might have already started updating these things. But that gap between where on all four of those places that she's not showing up, that's the gap that we're now able to see because we've audited it and now we're going to close it. All right. So the 6 jobs that we are working with when I talk about imaging, that's the framework. I call it the 6 jobs. Okay. Very, very creative. There are 6 places your future self images need to show up in your business. Okay. And if you have a pen and paper, write these down because they are super important. Job number 1, your website hero image. You have 400 milliseconds to trust and get that decision from somebody. So the first thing they see, it's the most important image of your entire online presence in your hero image. It's the only thing that needs to change today. If that's it, that's great. Okay. Number 2, job number 2, social media profile photos consistently across every platform. Remember, I'm not saying you need every single platform. What I'm saying is every time somebody finds you, they want the same energy, the same woman, the same version of you, consistently building that recognition because recognition builds trust. Job number 3, your content visuals. Every post needs an image with the exception of a few, right? You've got your color background, etc. But every story, every reel, every thumbnail, right? We need images, and we need a library of on-brand images that actually look like you. You need to use them. You need to stop defaulting to your iPhone selfie, which, don't get me wrong, is great every once in a while with bad lighting, but it is not the only thing that works. Job number 4, your funnel and landing pages. Every opt-in page, every sales page, every thank you page, the face that converts is the face your audience trusts, which is you. So put her there. Job number 5, your vision board. If you've heard me talk about this, you know how passionate I am about vision boards. We've talked about this before. We have our own sessions together. Put yourself in your own future. Your brain needs to see you in the future to commit it. This image is your evidence. And I'm very passionate about this, but we're going to stop there. And then job number 6 is your email signature. Every email you send is a touch point. Your future self looking back at every person in your contacts. That's a visual relationship starting before you even get on a call, before they even book anything. So 6 jobs, and most people right now have a 0 for 6. Okay, I have done many assessments. I've worked with lots of different people. We've jumped on calls where it's a clarity call or a brand call, and they have 0 for 6. So we want to get better at that. Now, here's the thing I need you to hear right now before you get stuck, before you get overwhelmed, before you just turn me off and say, Lindsay, I don't have time for any of this. You've just done the audit, right? You've worked it with me. You've done it while you're watching the replay, and you've seen the gap. Amazing. You know that, say there's 4 of 6 that don't have your images. The temptation is to try and change it all in one day. You need to set that time aside. You need to do it properly, and you need to do one. Just one today. That is it. Not all 6, not a complete overhaul, one. Think about 1 rep, 1 second, 1 mile, whatever it is, just one. Pick a single most important place. The old version of you is still showing up, and that one that bothers you the most. Maybe it's your LinkedIn profile because you hate it. Maybe it's your YouTube thumbnail because it's just so scattered and you just don't love it. Okay, change it today. Not this week, not later, today, because that one change does 2 things. It changes what your audience sees, which matters, but more importantly, it signals to your own brain that she's here now, that you're serious, that this isn't about just watching another workshop and attended it and then walking away with nothing and not doing anything, right? We file it away. And don't get me wrong, I have a file on my computer for things that I'm going to do at some point, right? We all are there, but right now, one thing, that's the rep. And once you do that one rep, the next one is easier, and the one after that is easier still. So drop in the chat if you are watching live or watching the replay, what's the one thing you're going to commit to? And I'm going to keep you accountable for it. But what's the one thing you're going to commit to today? And what's that first place that you're going to get an image into your visuals? Okay. So before I let you go, here's what I want you to walk away with today. Okay. You don't have a confidence problem or a motivation problem. A lot of people feel that's the case. You have a deployment gap, and now you know exactly how to close it. 20 minutes, 6 jobs, 1 rep to start. So I want you to come back next Thursday, because here's what I've noticed this month. People update their photos, people update their information, and then they keep writing captions, bios, and emails from that old version of themselves. So the words haven't caught up yet. So next Thursday, we're going to fix that. We're talking all about identity language, finding every place that your old version might be speaking and rewriting her as your future self. So April 30th, 10:30 Eastern, always free here on Facebook, right back right here. So I will drop the link for the event in there as well in the comments. And if you want to know exactly where your online presence stands today across all 6 categories and you're not sure, take the free visibility gap assessment that I have, and I'll put it in the chat as well, because it also gives you a scale of 100 is the score, and then it gives you like a red light, yellow light, green light on things that you can fix. So you're going to do the 1 rep today, and that's all I want you to focus on. Don't worry about the other things, but 1 rep, focus today, and I will see you next Thursday when we do this all again. Have a good one, guys. Bye.